Andrew Malkinson spent 17 years wrongly imprisoned for a 2003 rape he didn't commit, and this underscores significant failures of the Criminal Cases Review Commission, the CCRC. Despite no DNA evidence linking Malkinson to the crime, he was arrested based on vague eyewitness descriptions and selected from a video lineup. The CCRC, the body responsible for investigating potential miscarriages of justice, had multiple opportunities to exonerate him but failed due to procedural and evaluative shortcomings. Chris Henley, KC's review of the CCRC's handling of Malkinson's case reveals several critical points. It's really sad because there were so many missed opportunities. The CCRC overlooked multiple chances to support Malkinson, including disregarding the discovery of non-matching male DNA on the victim's vest in 2007, inadequate forensic understanding, a failure to investigate properly. His cases were not thoroughly examined. The CCRC failed to scrutinize the original police file during 3 applications, revealing significant disclosure failures only after his legal team conducted their own investigations. And this sort of cautious approach, even as late as 2022, the CCRC was inclined to reject Malkinson's appeal without identifying any alternative suspect, indicating an excessively cautious approach. They've got their man, that person is in prison. Although the evidence points strongly to the fact that he didn't do it, that he couldn't have done it, they don't care. They've got someone in there. And Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood has called for the removal of the CCRC chair, Helen Pitcher, due to the findings. And Henley has criticised the lack of a timely and sincere apology from the CCRC, with Pitcher only issuing an unreserved apology after the report was finalised. It's not enough. There are systemic issues, there are systemic failures in our justice system. And as far as I know, I think Malkinson still hasn't been paid what he was promised. And what I find so extraordinary is when the case was concluded and he was awarded a payment, at no point did the then Home Secretary ask to meet him, to express her concerns and regret that he'd been put through such a misery in such a high-profile way. The Royal Court of Justice is only down the road from the Home Office. It is madness and arrogance in the most superlative way. There's the significant delays, the lack of proper supervision, the failure to grasp the importance of DNA evidence, the scepticism of the system, the impact of Victor Neelan's case in 2013. The failure to act on parallels between Malkinson's case and the case of Victor Neelan, another wrongful conviction overturned due to DNA evidence. And it's just one thing after another, this barrage of incompetence together with the arrogance of the system. And it's time for that to change. And I hope the fact that we now have a Prime Minister who used to be the Director of Public Prosecutions and who is invested in the legal system, I hope that he will feel that under his guidance, under his tenure, it is time for the legal system to wake up and recognise that it is not a law unto itself. It's a law to serve us. And it must be held to be responsible. It's not there to serve itself in some sort of self-indulgent dog licking like way. It's got to do its job. And watching the law lick itself doesn't give me any confidence in the law. And this not only applies to things like Malkinson, it also applies to things like the NHS whistleblowers, and when people take their cases to the Court of Appeals on a technicality, they're not able to get through the paperwork to actually get their case to a judge. Why not? Because the gatekeepers are making it so difficult for ordinary individuals to have justice. Because that would mean that other people further back down the line, other barristers, other judges, will be the subject of finger wagging because we know they behave badly. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter who they were trying to protect or what institutions they were trying to protect. They behaved badly. They didn't behave in the interest of us. They are there to serve the people. Justice is for the people, not for the barristers, not for the judges, not for the government. It's there independently to serve the people. And if it's not doing that job, and if people are being imprisoned for no reason and are being kept there for no reason, simply the geographic fact that they are in prison, like Assange. I don't understand why Assange was kept, A, for so long in Belmarsh prison, and B, was kept in solitary confinement for so long. I don't understand this, because he wasn't charged with anything other than evading bail. And we knew where he was. Absolutely we knew where he was, because apparently he was costing the Metropolitan Police so much money in a police guard of the embassy. So we're playing around with fiction here. And the law shouldn't be above. The law should be above this fictitious arrogance. The law should be there at the service of the people. And it seems increasingly to be at the service of itself. As I say, like a dog licking itself. And this intimate cleansing is not something I wish to spend my life watching. And we must call it out as inappropriate in public. If there are things that the courts need to do to sort themselves out, they should do it on their own time, and they should process this backlog of cases which is building up while their self-indulgence continues. The self-indulgence of the courts needs to stop.